Alright guys, so video we haven't done in a while, so we're going to shoot a video on breeding because we are fast approaching the fat tail season and we actually have some animals ovulating. So we're going to go through how we breed, how we keep it, males, females, all that stuff. It is Sunday. Apologize for the way I look, it's day off. Looking a little rugged, putting extra time in, but we're going to show you a video here the whole way through. So first up, we like to use these little clips. It's a version of what the ball python breeders use. And what happens is we got this little clip and we got these neon tags that we put on them, little stickers, and this tells you when a group's ovulating, starting to ovulate. We also have a code for each male that's getting bred to there. So I'm not going to tell you what that code means because I can't give away all the little secrets we got going on here. But so we notice the group's ovulating, I write what male's being bred to that group. It then gets clipped to the outside of the tub. So I'll show you the leopards first, how we keep them. Now these guys aren't ovulating anymore for the most part. They're all done. The leopard season's pretty much over. This is how we keep these guys. This is a group of our tangs. You can see they ain't missing any meals. These things are massive. Each, depending on the size group, we keep about 4 females, 5 females in a 32 tub like this. Always get access to calcium, especially during breeding season. We use Repcal religiously. I love it. Tried to veer from it in past seasons. Have horrible results. So I like to stick with what works, tried and true, and that's the Repcal. So we got Eco Earth is what we use in our laying chambers. Now these guys aren't laying right now, but we still keep it in there year round. Nice and moist for these gals when they start shedding. And this group in particular, these are a couple years old and they still got some nice color to them. Like we got our disposable cups here. You know, actually the ramekins not disposable, but there's a little 2-ounce plastic cup in the middle that gets thrown out, and we got tons more we fit in there. Pretty much the way we keep these is as disposable and easy to clean and disinfect as possible. That's the key. Disinfection, keeping clean, that just means good husbandry, means good breeding, means good production. So let's say these gals were ovulating. Then a tangerine male would go in here. This would be a group breeding is what we would use for these. So it's also referred to as a harem breeding. So we put the male in here, let him do his thing for a couple weeks. We keep follicle grading these females until we notice that they're all laying good eggs, and then he would come out, and if he has another group that needs to go to at that point, he'd be rotated. Depends on the group. We're going to go over in just a minute what follicle grading is and how to do it, because we actually do have some fat tails that are ovulating right now. So this is how we keep leopards. More specific groups would be in groups of 2, and they would be genetics that are more specified, more rare. Pretty much the outcomes, like these, this would be all tangs. So all the eggs are the same, they're still marked, they're put in the tub in the incubator as tangs, and that's pretty much it, nice and easy. But it does get a little bit more interesting and a little bit more record keeping when you get into, you know, hets and triple hets and double hets and dominants that are het for this and het for that and more specific. So we could get into that at a different video. Maybe once we got more things ovulating, I could show you more of the specifics. So we'll come up in here. This is a fat tail group that we have marked that is ovulating. I just noticed them ovulating the other day. Check out which one of these gals is ovulating. Generally, once one starts ovulating, the whole group, it's not that far behind. This gal's just starting to. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. There's a little dot here and a little dot there. I highly doubt that's going to show up on there. Fat tails have a really white belly, so it's very difficult to photograph. I think we actually might have a leopard gecko ovulating somewhere in here, so I can show you a little bit easier. There we go. That gal's a lot easier to see ovulating. Trying to get this right in this focus. I don't think you're going to see it, but trust me, she is ovulating. There's a spot up here and a spot down the bottom. It's generally where you see them. Now you notice that these fat tails aren't huge. I find I get much better production out of female fat tails if they're sitting around the 40 to 45 gram range, not your 80 gram range, which you certainly could get them up to if you really wanted to. It's not that we're starving them, we're just, you know, keeping them nice, lean, and fit. An obese animal doesn't always equal you know, oh, I'm going to get 24 eggs from it. A lot of people like to go out and buy the biggest animals, and quite frankly, I've noticed in the past that production just isn't as good out of a gigantic fat tail, or even leopards for that matter. If you have really, really fat leopards that are really obese and you try and fatten them up as quick as you can to get them to breed, that doesn't equal good production. So this particular group, we're going to keep watching, and then we're going to, you know, see when the rest start ovulating here in the weeks to come. Then the male's going to go in there and hopefully do his job. We do have another group we can show you over here. A little bit more specified breeding. This is again patternless. These gals are not ovulating yet, but just using them for an example. This is a 0, real nice 0 that we hatched out here, and she's housed with one of our Batman pattern from our patternless projects. Now this is a group we're testing out. I'm going to breed it to a patternless, and you know, I just want to see what's going to happen when you mix the 0 with the patternless, and of course what if there's any connection here with the Batman patterns on these fat tails and patternless. I have a good hunch that there are, because a lot of the animals that we hatch out of the patternless group do show up with those neat looking aberrancies on there. So this would be a more specified group. We got 2 animals. It's smaller. The eggs will be marked a lot more carefully when they're put in the incubator, and there'll be a lot more little tags here when we get there to that point. It's fat tail season is generally in the fall. So they're all just getting ready, and some breeders cool down their collections, some don't. We house a lot of fat tails and a lot of leopards, and they don't breed at the same time of year. Typically, like I said, fat tails are in November, October, mid-November hopefully. But there are years where they end up going in March and February and a little bit later, like the leopards. I do not cool here at all. I'm not saying it's the way to do it, to not do it. I just don't do it, and I still have good production. I don't have any issues with it. Maybe it's just up here in the eastern part of Pennsylvania. We got the 4 seasons. They know that. They're not stupid. As much as you could try and keep this room as temperature controlled as you want, they still realize that, you know, it's hot in the summer, no matter how much you got the AC cooking, and then warmer in the summer and cooler in the winter. So they know this stuff, and they pick up on the changes, and I really don't feel that you have to cool them. Not that that's bad. There's a lot of people that do that, and that's fine. It's whatever works is what it is. There's no tried and true. This is what you have to do. Every breeder has their own little tips and quirks about the way they do stuff, and that's fine. You know, you do what works, you know, year after year after year, and you try not to change it, and that is what makes a good breeder. That makes good production. So, like I said, with the fat tails, I like to keep them a little bit leaner, around the 40 to 45 gram for the females. Males, it's okay, they could be big. They pretty much come out of their tubs, you know, for a little brief period of the year and do their job. Females, I don't like to keep them obese. They get good production. Same with the leopards. So we'll do another video when we're getting more into prime breeding season here with the leopards and the fat tails. Fat tails coming in the fall. We're still going to do some videos finishing up our genetic segments. We just had some animals ovulating. Actually, I just noticed we do have an animal, a leopard gecko ovulating. Maybe we can get you a picture of it. Let me get her out here. Hopefully you could see that big dot right here below my thumb. I'll move it back and forth. You can see that pink spot. I don't know if this is turning up or not. There we go. I can see it on the screen now, so hopefully you can too. There's always 2 spots, little white in the middle, generally a pinkish red ring around that. That's follicle grading. That's when you'll watch your females. That's when they're going to be more susceptible to breed with your males. Otherwise, it's one of the, you know, biggest challenges first-time breeders have, or new breeders are. They can't follicle grade. They just put these females with the males, and they get the crap beat out of them. Whether the male's beating up the female's beating up the male, she has to be ovulating, or they're not going to breed. Point simple. So if you can follicle grade, you're going to be steps ahead on breeding. You're going to know when to do it and when you're going to be successful. So that's going to be our little segment today on the breeding. If you have any questions, please comment below. Also, we have tons and tons of dragons right now. If anybody's interested in any dragons, give us a call. Everything from sunbursts and citrus, hypos, and all kinds of stuff. Leatherbacks. So we got probably about 100 dragons to choose from. We have over 100 geckos from fat tails and leopards to choose from right now. We got a lot more stuff than what we have for sale, so if there's something in particular you're looking for,